Hello guys, this is the study guide for 9.4 to 9.7. This is, notice that I took off 9.3. There is no 9.3 on the test. It will be on your final later, but I didn't really go over it. I didn't study it. It's been 3 weeks since we've seen it, and I forgot to put it on, so I'm just not going to put it on the test. So do not worry about 9.3. So first let's do 9.4, solving by square roots. This is the straightforward one, and this occurs when you don't have a bx, which I mean, when I say that, I mean there's no like x to the 1 power anywhere. So let's look at this one I did. 2x squared equals 8. So my first goal is to get x squared by itself. Divided by 2, divided by 2. So I have x squared already here. X squared equals 4, because 8 divided by 2 equals 4. Then I want to square root both sides. This is extremely important. Do not forget this. X equals plus or minus 2. So 2 times 2 gives you 4. That gives you plus or minus 2. So x equals plus or minus 2. Let's go to the next one. M negative 18 equals 18. So m squared, I'm going to do plus 18 on both sides, equals 0. And that's okay. We like that. Square root both sides. M equals plus or minus 0. But there's no such thing as negative 0, so you could just write 0. If you write plus or minus 0 or 0, you'll get full credit. Now, what we have to be careful for is no solutions. So what happens on a no solution? A no real solution, I should say. So I'm going to minus 12 minus 12. B squared equals negative 7. Square root both sides. At this point, you go to stop and say no real solutions. Because of this is square root of negative 7, that means that I cannot have a square root of negative 7. Because, let's say it was 9 for 7, negative 9. 3 times 3, that's positive times positive, gives you positive 9. Negative 3 times negative 3 gives you also a positive 9. So that's why negative 9 can't be a square root. And that's why any negative can't be a square root. You can't times it by the same number and still get a square root. So because at this point, you're going to say no real solution. Be prepared to see no real solutions on the test. Now I'm going to do this one. I'll ask you to pause the video if you want to try it yourself. If not, I'm going to do this one in 3, 2, 1. At this point, x squared equals 6. Square root both sides, square root both sides. X equals plus or minus square root of 6. The reason I have to write square root of 6 is because there's no clean number for 6, the square root of 6. You still need to include the plus or minus. Do not forget that. Last one. What happens if you have a little fraction at the end? So some of you might have started this early and got to here and you're like, but Mr. Tobel, this is a fraction. How do I square root it? Well, what we're going to do is square root, don't forget the plus or minus, 100 over the square root of 9. Now the square root of 100 is 10. And the square root of 9 is 3. So your final answer for this one is plus or minus the square root of 10 over 3. It's not that tough as it looks. You're going to be able to do something like that in this section. I'm going to stop the video and then record a separate video for 9.5.